DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Today's daily motivation is about cutting your losses as quickly as possible. So this is in any of you who's done any hiring in business, any of you who's like a small business owner where you get to make all the hiring decisions and you get to make the firing decisions. You're not going through HR or nothing like that. I'm not talking about some corporation or big company. But if you run a small business, usually you get to hire and fire whoever you want. And the concept is hire slow, fire fast, meaning you should take your time hiring somebody because you want to make sure they're the right person. But once you realize that somebody's the wrong person, you need to get rid of them ASAP, immediately. They call this, in some worlds, they call this the swift sword. Swift sword means as soon as you realize that something is wrong and it needs to go, you cut it off as quickly as possible. Everybody knows what a sword is, right? Sword's like the big blade that you cut things with. So you want to have the swift sword, getting rid of things or people or ideas or habits immediately when you realize that they are not the right fit for you for whatever reason. Doesn't even matter what it is. This is also known as cutting your losses. When you realize that you're in a situation that's not working, even if you've lost already in that situation, one of the riskiest things you can do, and this kind of risk is not a smart type of risk, is to just double down and double up and keep trying to get back what you've already lost. For example, any of you who gambles, you could be at the roulette wheel in Vegas and you've already gambled away. You lost $1,000 gambling and you lost 1,000. You still got money in your pocket to keep gambling with, but you're trying to win back the 1,000 that you lost. You said, let me just get back to zero, then I'll leave. If you were to do that, let's say you kept gambling, you got back to zero, you probably wouldn't leave because you was like, well, I just won. Why would I walk away? See, this is the challenge. This is the reason why casinos take everybody's money, because when you win, you start to think, well, I just won. I might as well keep playing. And that's exactly when you lose the rest of your money. So you got to have the discipline to walk away when you've already won. Let's say you were to gamble, you are down 1,000, you gambled, you got back to zero, right? You got back to neutral. So you got the same amount that you came with. Now your brain's going to say, well, what was the point of me even gambling? I didn't lose anything. I didn't gain anything. I might as well keep playing. And there's where you lose again. And that's what happens with people because they don't have the discipline to walk away when you should walk away. And I'm talking about being at neutral. But here I'm talking about being at a negative. When you realize that something's a loss, you've already put the time in, you already put the effort, the attention, the energy, and the money into something, and it's just not producing the outcome that you want. As soon as you realize that, it has to go. Now, I'm a person I own a small business. Small business means, I believe, is under 50 employees. And I've hired a lot of different assistants, a lot of different staff members at different times for different jobs. Anytime I've had the inkling or the idea that I might need to fire a person and I did not do it, I talked myself into giving them more time. All it did was make it worse because all they did was keep showing me more reasons why they needed to be fired. And then when I finally fired them, I was mad at myself because I'm like, I should have fired this person 3 weeks ago. I should have fired them 2 months ago. I should have fired them 3 days ago when I had the first idea. I've never had the idea I need to fire somebody and it ended up being wrong and they stayed on. Never. Not once. So when you realize that something is not right and is not working, is not going the way that you want it to go, your instincts are letting you know that. They're letting you know that you need to get out of that situation. You need to let it go. You need to go. Anytime that in my single life, when I was dating a girl and I decided, you know what, this ain't going to go where I think it's going to go. This is where it's at. It's pretty much as far as it's going to go. I need to cut this off. Anytime I tried to let it keep going to see if it was going to become any different or better, it never became different or better. I needed to cut it off when I needed to cut it off. And the reason why this matters so much, folks, cutting your losses quickly and that swift sword, firing fast, is because you are on the clock. I don't care if we're talking in your business life or your personal life, you're on the clock. You only have a certain amount of time available on this planet, and eventually your time's up. You're going to die and it's over. So every minute that you spend putting more time into something that you already have decided is not going to work, what are you doing? You're putting yourself in a worse situation because now you have less time to play with after you delayed the action that you already knew that you were supposed to take. So this is really about having a sense of urgency about getting rid of things when it's time to get rid of them. Now, let me add one caveat here, that just because something is uncomfortable for you does not mean you need to get rid of it. So if you hire a personal trainer and the first workout is kicking your butt, that doesn't mean you should cancel the personal trainer because it's too hard. No, that's not what I mean. This is a different kind of swift sword that I'm talking about. So don't cut something off just because it's uncomfortable for you. Sometimes that discomfort is exactly what you need. This is why you need to have an extra set of eyes and ears around you, an inner circle of people around you. You can go to them and say, look, I'm thinking about getting rid of this for this reason. And let that person, you need a person in your life who will challenge you on the things that you say and don't care about how you feel about it. and you have to respect them enough that you will allow them to challenge you. So when they challenge you and they call you on your nonsense, you can accept that and say, you know what, I respect that. You're right. You called me on that. I'm glad you checked me on that. You're right. Let me stick with this and get myself in gear. All right. So don't take this to mean anytime something's uncomfortable, you need to get rid of it, because at that rate, you'll never achieve anything in life. So with all that said, leave a comment on this video. Tell me the number one thing you did based on what you heard in today's daily motivation. Make sure you text me so you get my daily motivation text that I send every day. My number is 305-384-6894. Make sure you do all the YouTube stuff. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, share the video, and Work on Your Game University. Any of you interested in being coached by me directly, I only coach in one place. There's only one way to work with me. That's go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. You can schedule a free call with us. We'll talk to you about where you're at, where you want to go. If we can help you moving forward, we'll tell you what it looks like, how it works. It's all at workonyourgameuniversity.com. Link down below in the description. Work on your game. Dre, all